Have you ever tested your bug out bag? Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, I had an idea. It's not a new idea. Most people have already done it before, but have you ever tested out your bug out bag? I mean, honestly, listen, as we get older and more softer, I should say, it's a little bit more difficult to go out there and to test all your kit. You probably packed your kit a couple years ago, threw it somewhere inside of a closet and figured, oh, I'm good to go. Well, I'm going to change that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my gear. I'm going to bring it up to the Adirondack Mountains, which is very, very cold right now. It is hunting season, so I have to watch out for hunters. The people that I'm going with, they will be out there in the woods. Number two, I have to make sure that my son is okay because he'll be going with me. And number three, I have a lot of gear to test. So it's going to be a tough couple of days in order for me to make this happen. I think what we're going to do is we're going to start the scenario off where we're going to pretend that we are going to a bug out. We're going to take all this stuff, we're going to put it in a truck, and we're going to take a drive. It's about a 4-hour drive to the location that I need to get to. So that being aside, I'm not going to film 4 hours of it, don't worry about it. And then when we get there and day one, day two, that kind of thing, we're going to look for a location. So we might do a little patrolling, we might do a little bushcraft work with my son just to give him a little bit of idea how things work. I do have fully loaded magazines, all right, so we have more than enough protection. My son is too young to have firearms, but he'll have his Red Ryder BB gun, so that's all good. And I already tagged out, so I'm not really interested in hunting. I'm going to leave those guys alone. I will be wearing orange in the woods as well as my son. He will also be wearing it. Now, when you look at all this gear here, you might be thinking, why is this guy carrying an M14 or an M1A? Well, the real reason is because it's legal in most states. And I know that's probably like a Second Amendment, you know, you're a jerk, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's also a 308 rifle, which is a good battle rifle. It didn't see a lot of service. I know all the history of it, but it's a pretty decent rifle. And number one, I haven't even tested it. I have to shoot the thing, see how it works, that kind of thing, and see if it works for a bug out rifle. It might not. It might not be a good choice. Also, with these heavy magazines, these things are pretty damn heavy. These are all steel construction. 20 round magazines with 308 boat tail. It is very, very heavy. So maybe that is not the right choice, but I won't know until I test it. Also, all the gear that you see is pretty damn new. So this right here is from Spirit System, and it's brand new. I bought it off the webs, the interwebs. It is their Recon rig, and it is very, very expensive. Never tested it. This is a brand new Rush 20 72-hour bag in multicam, brand new, never tested it. This is my this is a brand new Smith & Wesson 2.0 4-inch. I'm going to be using it in 10mm. Again, shot it a couple times, fixed the back straps, that kind of thing, but it really doesn't have that much range time on it. So again, I'm testing that. A lot of different things are going to go on, guys. If you have any of this gear and you are interested in doing this or have done this before, where you took all your gear, your family, your friends, whoever, and went to the woods in the winter time to try to practice your bug out, put the comments down below. Let me know how it worked out for you. All right, so I'm really interested to see how it's going to go. I will do all the safety precautions, obviously, because we are going to a hunting camp. It's going to be very, very cold outside, so there will be safety precautions. Filming will take second over safety, obviously, but I will have to practice our comm plan, our, our patrolling plan, if we're going to see anything. How do we stay warm? How do we build a shelter? What are the avenues of approach, that kind of thing, or COCOA, the stuff that we learned in the Marine Corps, all that good stuff. Can we use key terrain features? Is this a path? Especially if it's snowing outside, it's going to be really wet out there, really cold. It's going to be very, very difficult. The tools that you see in this bag are not the tools that I usually take with me. I mean, other than my own 3 River blade knife. So we're going to do a series and we're going to see how it works out. So if you're really interested in this, guys, please stick around. I'm going to roll the footage. So what I think I picked was kind of a decent idea, but I just want to give you the weights because I know somebody is going to ask. All right, so that is a 511 2.0 Rush 72 bags. 72 is not the liters. I will put all the links down below if you're interested in these bags. Again, I am an Amazon affiliate, so all this stuff was purchased on Amazon, or at least most of it was. If you click on the links, I'll get a percentage. So that is a 511, 72 hour, 2.0 Rush bag, and that is weighing in full kit without water at 28 pounds. Okay, right below it, I have the Velocity Systems Mayflower Recce rig. All right, it's a rec rig or a recon rig, and it has a lot of different features. I had to kind of maneuver it or fix it up so it would work with my 7.62 by 39 M1A magazines, but it does fit. So if you're interested and you have that kind of gun and you want to see if it works, it does work. All right, so that loaded out is 14 pounds. All right, I have 6 magazines in there. I have some medical kit, I have a radio, and I have some survival kit. That's it, and it's still weighing at 14 pounds. The rifle itself is James River Armory. It is a M1A or an M14 clone. Basically, what it is a bunch of parts that they have from old stock and new stock, and James River Armory makes M1As, okay? It is a short barrel or the 18-inch barrel, okay? Just so you know, it is not the full 22-inch barrel that most M1As have. It does have a Vortex scope on there, and we will get into that when I get a little bit closer. So that rifle is weighing in at 11 pounds, all right? 11 pounds unloaded with the scope and the wood stock, as you see there. The pistol is a Smith & Wesson 2.0. I believe it is the 4-inch. It does come in at 2.86 or almost 3 pounds. You can put an optic on it. It does have a light. It will have a holster. So I'll be carrying the gun fully loaded plus a spare magazine and a holster. All in total, with all the weight that I just gave you, is probably about 58 pounds. Now, it might not seem like a lot, but it's a lot on your back, especially when you're not a young man anymore. The reason I went with this rifle, it is because that it is mostly legal in most states. All right, it doesn't have the fancy black rifle problem, and it does come with it. You can get 5-round magazines for it. All right, so it shouldn't be a problem if you wanted to go hunting with one of these guns. And because it's hunting season, I figured I'd take a little bit heavier hunting gun than what I normally do, which is usually a bolt gun. But they make really great guns. So James River Armory, I'll put the link down below. If you can find one, they make the full length and they make this size as well. This size, like I said, is a little bit smaller. It does come with the walnut stock. It does come with the regular sights. The only difference is that I have a side mount. So this is the Springfield's side mount on it. This is a very, very heavy mount. It's a pain in the ass to put on, and it's a pain in the ass to sight. So do you want to have something that you could take on and off? This is probably the only this is probably the only mount that you can get. I'm sure there's others out there, but this one is recommended by Springfield. The sights you can still see underneath the mount, which is nice. So if I really needed a close shot, I can still do it. This gun is completely stock. I haven't changed it in any way. It still came just straight from the manufacturer like this, okay? All the windage knobs, everything still works. The only difference is I had to take the stripper clip out in order to set up this sight mount, and that was it. So the scope itself is a Crossfire 4x18 by 44. It is a Vortex scope, all right? It is a BDC or drop bullet compensator. It is not MilDOT. I didn't want to get too fancy, but it is a 44 scope, so that means it's puts in a lot of light, which is what I need, especially as I get older. I want as much light as I can. You can put in a shade, but again, I wasn't trying to put as much weight on this thing as possible. All right, the sling is not the traditional leather sling. It is just a USGI M16 sling, which still works. It makes a little bit of noise. All right, so it does make a little bit of noise, but again, I want it to be as stock as possible. All the parts still work. It does have that shoulder stock flip up, and again, in the rear, you can use a cleaning kit and put a cleaning kit in there if you wanted to. All right, so that's it for the rifle. Let's get down to the pistol. All right, guys, so let's talk about the pistol. The pistol is an M&P 10mm 2.0. All right, it is a 4-inch barrel, I believe. It is more like the Glock 19 size. It does have suppressor height sights. It does have the cutout for any of the optics that you like. And on the bottom, it does have a Picatinny rail if you want to attach a light. What I like about this gun is number one, it's in 10mm, and now all the other guys other than Glock are getting into the 10mm game. I know there were some people that had problems with these guns. I have not experienced it yet. Again, I only put a couple boxes through it just to see how it feels. And the back straps are pretty decent. You just turn this little knob right here, take the back strap off, and you can have small, medium, large, small, medium, large, and I think extra large. And I just left the largest one in there, and it feels pretty good in my hands. Also, what I like about it is they got rid of that stupid articulating trigger. It is more like a Glock trigger, where it's just a piece of plastic, and it has the little safety dingus. All right, so that's kind of nice. Overall, haven't had any problems. I will be using a Bravo concealment holster with it. All right, so just a regular outside the waistband. The magazines are stainless steel. All right, they come in, you get 2 magazines with them, and it is a 15 round magazine. All right, has yellow followers, which is kind of nice. This one is loaded up with Underwood, 220 grain, so that's like my bare load, quote unquote. This is 220 grain hard cast flat nose, 1200 feet per second from Underwood. That is my bare load. And then this one, which is now empty, would be running a Hydroshock 180 grain Hydroshock JHPs. Okay, all right, let's get into the rig. All right, before we get into the rig, I just want to let you guys know that, of course, I would still be carrying a lot of my personal EDC. So my personal EDC for my fixed blade knife is going to be my Recon 1. All right, I've had this thing for a long time. I'm still using it. Cold Steel makes it. And this one is in S35VN. What else do I have in my pocket? All right, so this is the new Olight i5R EOS. Has 2 modes, bright and low. But what I really like about it is that it has this reverse clip, so you can clip it onto the bill of your hat. So I'm a big fan of that. That's just a personal EDC item. Also, still rocking the multi tool, which is the Sidekick. All right, so I like this one. It has the spring action in it. Okay. Also, chapstick, and that's about it. Oh, all right. What did I say? 15 pounds? Yeah, so that's 14, 15 pounds of goodness. All right, guys, so if you don't know, this is from Mayflower Velocity Systems. I hope you can see that. All right, Velocity Systems. It did take a little bit to get this conformed to my body, but it does have different types of webbing here. You have to understand that if you're going to run a chest rig with a pack over it, you want these as thin as possible. All right, Mayflower Velocity Systems knows what that's all about. A lot of adjustments here. I did have to cut the back strap or the waist strap because it was way too big and I couldn't get it any smaller. So I just clipped it at the back, and I just used the lighter just to make it a little bit neater so it doesn't unravel, and that seemed to work. All right, the most obvious are going to be these 20 round magazines. All right, these are metal USGI metal magazines. Now you might want to ask yourself, why the hell are you carrying an M14 or a M1A? And the answer is because I want to test it out. A lot of this stuff has to get tested out. I'm testing it. I have a gear test channel. So as you can see, that rifle, I have never shot it. That pistol I shot once or twice. This rig, I've never used before. So a lot of stuff is getting tested out today or this week, and I want to make sure that I can actually carry it. 2, I think it's important to try a 308 battle rifle. If you are going to defend your home, such as in an SHTF, I think it's important to learn how to use a 308 battle rifle. Maybe that's the only rifle you have. Maybe it is your choice. I don't know, but I figured let me try it out. And because I'm crafty like that, I figured out a way to make it work. All right. So again, it has bungee cords on top. Those bungee cords are going to be too big. You can cinch them down to make them tighter, but I didn't even bother because I'm probably going to use this rig for an AR platform as well. Because these are metal, they are very, very heavy. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is a lot of ammunition. A lot of ammunition in metal magazines, 20 rounders, plus they are 308. So it is very heavy. Most of the weight is coming from these magazines. All right, so things to consider. Do I need all 6 of them? Well, a combat effective person, Marine, would have 6 plus 1 in a gun. That's 7. So I will have 7. All right, do I need all 7? Probably not. I'm not even going to need 1 because I already filled my deer tags, but I just want to make sure that I was able to carry it in the system, and that's exactly what I'm doing. All right, so it also comes with these 2 side panels. This one is good if you wanted to stuff your magazine in there. So little side panel right there, and there's one over here. The only thing I threw in there was my flashlight. All right, I think it's important to have some white light or red light depending on how you want to maneuver or work. All right, on the left side here is my utilities pouch. It's a half and half utilities pouch. I don't know if you can see that, but it does have a divider, and one divider in half is for my Baofeng radio. This is for my Baofeng. I will have also a spare battery, and I think I have, yep, orange flagging tape. All right. Being that we are going out there during hunting season, I want to make sure that we have enough orange on so we're not getting hurt. So I'm going to flag the area with orange hunting tape. And also just to make sure that we are good to go. All right, it also helps in signaling and stuff like that. All right, on this other side, I have some baby wipes. You know what that's for. Right in the rain pad, Three River Blades survival tin. So I'm actually going to go out in the woods and I'm going to test the survival products in here. So that's another test that we're going to do. If you're interested, go to threeriverblades.com and check out this survival tin. Lastly, what I have in here is my compass. All right, this is the Suunto MC2. All right, so it has a mirror on there, magnifying glass, that kind of thing. The only thing that I don't have in here that I would is some cami paint. I think I put it somewhere else. I gotta look for it, but I would put some cami paint in there. Again, if it is a scenario where we are testing the SHTF scenario, then I probably want to be as camoed as possible. So I have that on this side, put that in there, and then my extra battery. And then on this side is my med kit. All right, so there's different ways you could run your med kit. This is a very large pouch. It also has another piece on the back here, so if you wanted to attach more stuff, you could. But I wanted to be able to draw my sidearm, and I had a issue trying to figure out if I wanted to put my gun inside here, or put it on my side, or carry it up higher crossbody. Didn't really work for me, so what I'm going to do is just keep it on my side. I know it's a pain in the ass with the waist straps of the pack, but that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. So, trauma shear, some 3M tape, tourniquet, pain meds. All right, so a lot of pain meds in here. I would recommend, if you are going to do a bug out, to take all your pain meds with you. This is my first aid kit. Now, when I say first aid, there is trauma stuff in here, but I will caution you. The idea is that you are trying to get from A to B as quietly and as quickly as possible, not do a raging gunfight. I noticed 6 magazines here, and there's no body armor. That is to keep down on the load. That is to keep down on the weight. Hopefully you are healthy enough to do that if you are going to choose a 308 battle rifle. So in here is like a little pocket full of stuff. So I have my H&H compression bandage. I have in here a chest seal. I also have 4x4s. I also have in super moleskin, because if you're walking on your feet, you are going to need that. All right, combat gauze. Things that most likely will happen, boo-boo ouch stuff. All right, a lot of the boo-boo ouch stuff is going to bring you down faster than any type of bullets, especially if you're doing the things that you are supposed to be doing, which is trying to hide and not engage with anybody. Okay, get out. But I have some duct tape over here. I also have some chapstick and some iodine, all right, to clean out any type of wounds, and some gloves. That's it. It's a very, very small first aid kit. It will do some trauma, but I'm not carrying a 6-inch Izzy if I don't need to. Also, I don't have any space for it, so I'm very, very limited. I can plug wounds. It's going to be very difficult to administer first aid out in the wild, especially with no support. But I don't want to make this rig so heavy that now I twist an ankle and I'm out for good. All right, so that's really one of the things you got to worry about. All right, let's get to the pack. All right, guys, so when it comes to the pack itself, I chose the 511 Rush 72. It is a big pack. I forget the liters. I'll annotate it if I remember to. But it's a decent pack. I had the 12 and the 24, and they were pretty decent too. I didn't try to get as much stuff as I possibly could in this pack because you will overweigh yourself and you'll wind up causing injury. So just to give you an idea, what I did is on the side, I put my my metal canteen outside. All right, I wanted it outside because it is a Nalgene flat bottom. You can take this apart and there's nothing in there, but if I needed to boil water, I could. Also have in there my Toke fork, and I also have a nesting cup inside here. I don't know if I can get it out. And I also have my bass spreader, or my fish mouth spreader, which will help if I need to put that over fire. All right, and I also have my Glacier 6-liter or 20-ounce metal canteen cup. Also, when it comes to water, I do have a water bladder. So if you see around here, I fit inside here a 100-ounce bladder. All right, so 3-liter, 100-ounce bladder. All right, doesn't have water in it right now, but it will as soon as I hit my location. And it does have like enough padding back here to hold it in. Again, this pack is going to get a little bit more heavier, also because I have camera gear and all that other stuff. Up here it has a nice zipper, fleece lined, but I don't use it, so I'm not going to worry about it. On this side, this is something more of a test item. So inside here is my jet boil. All right, I've had this jet boil for like a year now. My wife got it for me. I think it's one of the newer models, so it's a little bit smaller, and it has all the pieces in there that I need. And I also have gas. Now somebody's asking, well, you know, why would you do that? Well, I'm going to a winter environment. It's going to be very difficult for me to make fire, although I will try. I want to be able to cook meals, especially like I said that I am bringing my child with me, so he's going to want to eat. The pouch itself is made by SOE Gear, John Willis. And what's good about this pouch is that I was able to fit the burner and the gas inside this pouch. Again, it's outside. I'm not a big fan of that, but if I need it, it's outside. I don't have to worry about it. And I could take that gas fuel and put it inside if I wanted to, okay? So, let's talk a little bit about the admin pouch. There's probably nothing in here, all right? So, again, I'm not filling this thing to the gills. This is all my radio kit. That's all that's in here. So, Baofeng, this is the flexible whip antenna, so if I need to reach somebody, I can. I have extra batteries in here. This is a push-to-talk mic. There's also a USB connect to charge the batteries. This is all my frequencies for the local area. This pack does have a lot of zippers, but I don't use it because I just wanted to go as light as possible, and I have the things that I need. Now, what's good about this pack also, it has a shelf or a drop, I want to say like a drop shelf here, all right? And what I brought in here is 2 MREs, all right? This one is meatball in marinara sauce. And this is chicken noodle and vegetable sauce. Can you say diarrhea? All right, also, the newest thing with this pack is that there's a piece here. This is the new 2.0 for these packs, is that it's supposed to be some type of concealment pocket, and it's just Velcroed in there. What I chose to do was to add 2 freeze-dried meals. Again, that's going to go well with Jetboil. So I have that, and I have this. All right, these are just samples that I got from somebody, so I have my food, okay? Now, again, someone's going to say, well, why would you do MREs and then do that and then do... Again, I'm testing, all right? That's what I'm doing. I'm going out there and I'm testing to see what works best. What I'm doing is I'm testing a couple different options on how I want to cook my meals. Ideally, if I could just use MREs, I would just use MREs. The problem with MREs, number one, is they're heavy, they're bulky, and they also expire, where this has a better shelf life. The problem with these is you need fuel to cook it. Well, in a winter environment, it's going to be a little bit tough, so that's why I have to bring a stove. Well, if you bring a stove, you got to bring fuel, right? So all these things are just being weighed out, and again, to each his own, guys. So what I'm going to do is, up top, fire making kit, a couple of chem lights. All right, no big deal, nothing in there. Nice little zipper pocket. All right, let's look at what's in the main pocket. First thing, Woobie. All right, this is my military US GI Woobie blanket. All right, I know it's going to be cold. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be freezing up there. A Woobie blanket is not sufficient. You probably are going to need a sleeping bag, or at least a down or something. But again, I'm not sleeping overnight. We're just going to be out there to build some sort of shelter. We're going to test some of our gear. We're going to do a little bit of patrolling, and we're going to see how it works out. I would suggest checking out my winter bug out bag, which actually has a sleeping bag and a whole bunch of other winter stuff. All right. Also, another pair of socks, more shelter. I got a bivvy, so with these two, I got a little bit of shelter plus some extra socks. 3 Rivers blade knife. Yes, absolutely. This is going to be my field knife. This is the Mark 1 Scout. Somebody just purchased the last Mark 1 Scout, but there are other knives up there if you are interested in this. Highly recommend going up to 3 River Blades and checking that out. Poncho. Make sure you have a poncho. That's going to be part of the shelter. And I also have a spool tool. All right, spool tool is going to help me build that shelter. This is something new. This is Condor's survival shovel. Again, another test item, made in El Salvador. All right, very, very small shovel. I don't know, it's called the Condor camping shovel. Give you an idea what that looks like. Pretty small, which is why I'm going to hold on to it and I'm going to test it out there, see how it does. It's not overly sharp, except for this side, but it does have a little bit of a saw, and it does have a can opener or a bottle opener or Corona opener, I don't know. But what I liked about it is that it was small and compact, and I want to try it out and see if it works. So we'll test that out too. Let's see. Drum liners, 2 or 3. Hygiene. Make sure you have a hygiene kit. This must have fell out. So hygiene and hygiene. I keep saying it, and I notice some people that just think they want to be funky all day, all night, and that's not a good idea. So try to bring a hygiene kit. All right, this is just a ready-made hygiene kit. Nothing crazy, nothing too fancy. It just has some lip balm or petroleum jelly. Petroleum jelly is good for starting fires, and it also helps with chafes. This is called the crud cloth, which is like an all-in-one washcloth. Bar soap, toothpaste, mouthwash, tissue paper. That's it. That's all that's in here. I don't know anybody that couldn't fit this in their pack, but clean yourself. All right. Inside here, some more comfort items. All right. Nice woolly hat or beanie. This one's made by Carhartt. Really, really comfortable and warm. These are Thinsulate work gloves. All right. So inside here, they're lined. I don't know what the R value is, but they are insulated. Shemagh and some mechanic gloves. All right, so leather mechanic gloves. All right, also I got my pocket boy. All right, this is for making shelters and such. Very small, compact. Inside here is going to be my maps, my map reading utensils, all that kind of stuff, some map pens. This is just to get through the states so I know where I'm going, so highway maps, that kind of thing. Also can plot a course with that. Sharpening stone, very, very small. And inside here is my banana bag, some beef bouillon, some coffee, some tea, because it is going to be cold out there. I want to make sure I have all that stuff. Alright guys, so let me know what you think. If you have used this bag before, have you tried your bug out bag, your bug out location? Let me know what you guys think. What I need you guys to do is to like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Put all the comments down below. If you haven't been any winter camping, let me know if I'm missing anything. Again, I probably will take an axe. There is an axe at my location that I can take up there with me. It's not a real camping trip. What I want to do is test out my kit and test out some of the options that I took with me. I think that's the only true way to know how well you're doing in a real situation. Again, weapons may change. I may get older, a little bit more injured, who knows. Or maybe I'll just go lighter on the pack. But if I go lighter, you know how it goes. It's light it, pack light, freeze at night, that kind of thing. So I'm trying not to freeze my ass off, and we'll see how it goes. But if you like videos like this, please put the comments down below. I'll see what I can do for you. Become a Patreon member, only costs you $1 a month. Check out all my other videos. Just go to the links down below for all this gear. And as always guys, please stay safe.